Samantha Irvin, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill. Do you know what all three of those women have in common? Mark Henry discovered and or got them into the wrestling business, and WWE, his contract's up. Please rehire that guy as a talent scout. Mark Henry, are we talking about the same Mark Henry? Yeah, big Mark Henry, House of Pain, someone's gonna get their ass kicked. I am finding a newfound appreciation for this dude. I'll tell you what, the first 15 years of his career kinda sucked. No joke, it kind of sucked. Please, 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 don't go back to the Attitude Era and search Mark Henry, because the Attitude Era produced Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, The Rock, some of the greatest time to be a wrestling fan. We had the Corporation versus Steve Austin. You never knew what was going to happen on Raw, in a good way, but also in a bad way, because Mark Henry, his gimmick, sexual chocolate. And oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was funny at first, but then eventually he started dating Mae Young. He got her pregnant, and she's like 70, 80 years old, and when she gives birth, it's to a hand. A hand. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Mae Young dating sexual chocolate, and they give birth to a hand. Mark Henry's the father of a hand? I don't know. Like I said, Attitude Era, awesome, but we forget some of the things. We choose to forget some of the things, and rightfully so. So don't even bother ever looking up Mark Henry's run before 2011, because everything before that, the dude signs in like, I forget, 96, and it's not until 2011 they understand how to use the guy, and when they figured it out though, boy howdy, Mark Henry and the House of Pain was just an absolute terror. It's weird how they fumbled Mark Henry, but I guess I can understand why, because when they hired him, it was before the Attitude Era took off. They were still in the new generation, so they hired Mark Henry, and he was just this nice, lovable, big, powerful, tough guy, and it was just amazing that they got this real athlete into the WWE and everything, and they were going to probably just run with him as, like, how Kurt Angle presented himself, just a good American hero, right? And then the Attitude Era happened, and everything changed. Every rule was flipped upside down. You could no longer be the white meat babyface, and so they probably were just like, well, what do we do with Mark Henry? He was, like, one of the first people to get, like, a guaranteed 10-year contract, even. They were kind of just stuck with him. Gave him the sexual chocolate gimmick. Like I said, it was great in the beginning, but eventually that ran its course, and it really hurt his career. I really felt that kept him in the mid-card for pretty much ever. Now, he did flirt with the main event scene here and there throughout, but it didn't ever take. He even got a match with Undertaker at WrestleMania. He fought Brock Lesnar. But again, you never really felt that Mark Henry was a threat to those guys. You always just thought he was going to just stay in the mid-card. Upper mid-card maybe, but mid-card regardless. And it was what it was. He was just going to be a career mid-carder, and no shame in that. No shame in that. Good job, good career. One of the boys. Funny enough, Vince McMahon pulled a joke on Mark Henry, where he sent Mark Henry to the ring on a house show. He was supposed to fight Sin Cara, and for 20 minutes he waited for Sin Cara. Sin Cara was never really going to go out there. It was just a joke. Mark Henry was so mad. He was so mad. He called Vince up. He was so mad that Vince instantly apologized, but then Vince said, let me show you something. And he showed the footage of how mad and just what a beast of a man Mark Henry could be. And Vince said, if you could do that, if you could produce that kind of raw emotions, we could make some money. House of Pain, it started, it was born, and it was amazing. Mark Henry went from career mid-card jobber, and he won some matches, but he was just a career mid-card guy, to the main event. And I'll argue, one of the best things of 2011, 12, 13. He was one of the best acts with the House of Pain gimmick. Oh, I loved it. And the reason why I'm talking about Mark Henry right now is for a couple of reasons. The fact that his contract just came up with AEW, and he's discovering talent. Rehire the guy as a talent agent. His career, his in-ring career is done. He might be able to do one more match, but for the most part, his in-ring career is over. But I think he has a lot to offer for the business. Those three Those are three top-notch main event talents that I really think, and you're like, Samantha Irvin can't be main event. No, she was the main event. She announced the main event of WrestleMania 40. Okay, she's a main event talent, and if he has the eye for those three, 100%, we need to get him as a talent scout. And another reason why I'm talking about him is because AJ Styles just did a 1-to-1 retirement speech that mimicked the pink salmon retirement speech that Mark Henry did in 2013. And again, it was just awesome. They both cried. They both said they were going home to their family. They both then turned on the white meat babyface and destroyed them and was like, I'm not going nowhere. I want that title. And AJ Styles, we did a great job. Was he 100% on par with Mark Henry? No, but he was like 95%. That's a good percentage. Mark Henry just did it the best, and that's okay. Oh, that was so good. That was so good what Mark Henry did. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. And you want to know something else I didn't see coming? The fact of the matter is, and this gives me even more respect for Mark Henry, that he was supposed to win. This is just coming out because Mark Henry is on Busted Open Radio every week, and he just said they were talking about the AJ retirement match because everybody is comparing it to Mark Henry, which is, you know, a no-brainer. It's 1-to-1. Like I said, 1-to-1. But we didn't know this. Mark Henry just revealed, as they were talking about it on Busted Open, that he was supposed to win. He said everybody always got mad at Vince McMahon for all the booking decisions, but you don't know that I'm the one who said no. Vince wanted him to take the belt off of John Cena. I can't believe it. That was Super Cena at the time. That was Cena at peak Cena-ness. Vince McMahon said, you're the guy, Mark. You do it. You take the belt. And I really wanted him. I remember thinking, oh, please, please, please give it to Mark Henry. He was so good with that World Championship. But here's the thing. The World Championship, in that time and space, it was second best. It had long been past the evolution days of Triple H and his reign of terror. It was no longer what it once was in the WWE. And so Mark Henry did become World Champion, and it was a great run on top of SmackDown with the World Championship, but he was never a top dog. And he had the opportunity to do it, but he said no. And that is amazing, and I'm dumbfounded, and I appreciate Mark Henry's love of the business for saying no, because this is why he said no. He said his knees were in bad shape. He'd have to be at every show. He'd have to be doing all these appearances. He said no, thank you to that. And I cannot. That is just mind-blowing that someone would turn down the top title to beat the top guy after suffering so many humiliating defeats and gimmicks in the past. I mean, you were sexual chocolate during the time of Austin Rock. He's seen the highs of the business, and he had an opportunity to participate in being that guy on top of the mountain, and he said no because he didn't feel that he could live up to the obligations of what the world title was. The WWE heavyweight title, the number one guy. He didn't feel his body was in the right place to be the number one guy in the company, so he turned it down. I'm telling you, that, my friends, is... Ooh, I love that. I love that. Mark Henry, you have so much respect from me, and I think that you have so much more to offer the business, so much more to offer WWE. Maybe he should be a coach. Maybe a coach for big men. Bronson Reed could definitely use the House of Pain gimmick. Give it to him. Have Mark Henry come on and say, you are my anointed House of Pain successor, and that would be great. That would be great. Let Mark Henry train big men. Let Mark Henry look for talent because he has the eye for it. Just let Mark Henry be Mark Henry and show people, mentor people how to love the business, how to respect the business. This little 2 to 3 week time frame has given me such an appreciation for Mark Henry. For a minute there, Mark Henry was just going to be a mid-card act, but then he proved himself at the House of Pain, and he continues to prove himself with these stories of just humbleness and respect, of not taking the belt, or just showcasing that his storyline was so great that we're still mimicking it to this day. Mark Henry, I acknowledge you, Mark Henry. I acknowledge you for what you've done for the business. I hope that more people acknowledge you, and I hope you come back to the WWE, your home. I appreciate you, and I hope you guys acknowledge the subscribe button down below. Don't forget, you can win one of these belts. All you gotta do is comment in the video. Once I hit 10,000 subscribers, we will pull someone at random, and then I'll announce it on video. You guys and girls have a great day.